Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. Your host, Kimberly Cloud. I gotta touch that up before I play it again. That's my fault. I'm always jibbing and jabbing into some stuff. So let's get to the homework. I want to keep it, but it plays out of frame after 10 seconds, and I added another 10 seconds on there to for my videos in demand that I edit, but I'm thinking, no, don't think, just do. So anyway, I didn't come on here to talk about how my intro looked. I came on here to talk about how I'm gonna be doing my I'm going to be doing my UOPX homework. So let's get started on that because I don't have time to waste. I have a meeting to go to. We need just one flimsy thing, and then we're going to watch more real estate videos, but we're going to go more in depth. We're going to try to find some real estate videos about appreciation in Washington State and what that means for the buyer that's buying in Washington State. We're going to dig into Washington State a little bit more because Washington State isn't like the Midwest or the East Coast. Washington State appreciates, and a lot of people hate that. And there is no cash flow unless you're rebuilding and renovating the home. It's different. So I want to get into that and learning about that a little bit more. So I have 2 years to learn about what I need to look for a triplex or a duplex. But I do want a triplex or a duplex, and I have to have my credit straight. So let's do it. Because this isn't going to take everybody replying. Okay. So we're going to be finished by Friday. Whoa. We're going to reply, but we're going to use Windows. We're going to delete that. I don't have enough room on my computer. Daryl Williams. Oh, y'all can't see this. Y'all just looking at me. Here we go again. Same old shit again. Marching down the avenue. How many weeks and I'll be through? I won't have to look at you. You won't have to look at me. Sound off, 1, 2. Sound off, 3, 4. Sound off, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay. Here we go. So let's read what. That is not enough. No, I'm not replying to this. Oh, he was replying. Okay, I was about to say, because, and it's, whatever. When it comes to constructive criticism, being able to decipher what is not a direct attack personally. That sounds like an incomplete statement. It is rather a breakdown on what are the issues, on how things are being done, and how being flexible enough to want to do and self-assessment. I feel like constructive criticism, criticism is a form of is supposed to be a form of talking about what you did wrong and how you can have enough time to fix it. They will write a plan on maybe 3 to 6 months of a reconstructive plan base. That way you will not have 3 to 6 weeks to do something that takes 3 to 6 months. I was interviewing someone today, and we both agreed that there should be an actual agency that comes in and takes over. The manager takes over and redirect and communicate a corporate manager's position by telling them if they are bullying and giving negative constructive criticism. It almost caused this person I interviewed to commit suicide. So we need a third, a large third party that is not biased but works for the employees, not the managers. They also should have at police stations a psychiatrist that is there only for police and not for the chief and psychologist too. This could work in the corporate office too by but it could backfire because if they get too close, the manager then proprietary information could be leaked. So they shouldn't have no communication with the managers at all. Great work on your project. Okay. I feel like constructive criticism is supposed to be a form of talking about what you did wrong and how, comma, and how you can have enough time to fix it. They will write a plan on maybe 3 to 6 months of reconstruct, maybe, no, maybe don't need to be capitalized. No, maybe, is that how you spell maybe? Maybe 3 to 6 months of a reconstructive plan base. That way you would not have 3 to 6 weeks to do something that takes, it wasn't even like lit it up, 3 to 6 months. I was interviewing someone today and we both agreed that there should be an actual agency, government or non-government redirect, takes over and redirects. They would communicate to the corporate managers' positions. They would communicate and come up with a plan. Where am I at? To the corporate manager's position by telling them if they're bullying or giving negative constructive criticism. What? That don't have to be in there. They would communicate and give advice and come up with a plan to the corporate managers. That's all I need to put. By educating them by re-educating them about bullying and give them in what the hell did I just put? I know how to spell it. Criticism. Okay. So they will communicate and give advice, comma, and come up with a plan to the corporate managers by re-educating them about bullying and negative constructive criticism. Okay. It almost causes caused the person I interviewed to commit suicide. So we need a large third party that is not biased, but works for the employees, not the managers. They also should have, for example, this at especially at police stations. Okay. I'm not deleting that. Okay. 208. Okay. That is done. One response, one reply. Okay. Okay. So close this out. Close this out. Really? He got the Meta Quest glasses. I was tempted to buy that and work out using them, but I'm like, no. I was tempted to work out at Planet Fitness. I may still do that. They got a deal for $15 a month. That you can't beat that. Like Fitness is like $59 a month annually, plus $39 a month, plus another $39 activation fee. What the hell is that about? That's crazy. I had a long telephone conversation with a real estate agent, and he was telling me how appreciation, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to go over the pros and cons of both. But the real estate agent, he was telling me how um both is like in the state of Washington, because it's a rich state. That's another reason why I want to be set. It's hard to do things, make moves here in the state of Washington. I'm only thankful, because I've been blessed. That's it. I have no magic wand, you know, but in the state of Washington, you get no cash flow. You get mostly appreciation. Like if your house, like he said, if your house was worth 700,000 in a year, your house would be at 7% because that's the going rate, interest rate, or whatever he said. I don't know, equity or capital rate. I don't know. I don't know those lingos. He said that in a year it will be 738,000. So you were making a appreciation of 38,000. So it will go up every year, 38,000. Or if it's a loss, then you take a loss. But usually, most likely in the state of Washington, it's a appreciation. And if you fix up the house, if the house isn't brand new, if you fix up the house, that's more money to be made. When I first got here, it was all over the news. A lot of people were complaining because the rent goes up every year and they want to try to put a cap on that. I don't know if they put a cap on it yet, but that's how they got to that's how they got to put black people in one sector, Hispanic people in one sector, black and Hispanic in one sector, black, white, and Hispanic in one sector, predominantly white in one sector. That's how they got to do that because of the way the rent is appreciated. And I was hearing that. I kept hearing that word being thrown around, and I didn't know what that word meant until he explained it to me yesterday. And a lot of people were complaining about that crap, and they were ignoring it. They were ignoring it. So let's see what he has to say. See, in the Midwest, I'm sorry, y'all. In the Midwest, it's like he's not in the Midwest. Is he Colorado? Yeah, yeah. Noise. That's in the Midwest. Colorado, Colorado, Colorado. Yes, that's kind of in the Midwest. Yeah, a little bit in the Midwest. I'm saying that to say that their properties don't appreciate. Their properties have more of a cash flow. And seeing as though he's in Denver, Colorado, their properties have more of a cash flow. So I would like to see what he has to say based on him living in Denver, Colorado. Okay, I won't press the pause button again for a couple of minutes. So it was equity. It was equity. 7% equity. It was $700,000 house for 7% equity. You bought a house for 700,000, 7% equity every year, 38,000 or 37. Oh, also, I've been to Denver, Colorado, so I know what I'm talking about. It's sort of like in the Midwest. Man, oh man, man, my mom was playing tricks on me. I moved from Salt Lake City to Denver. I wasn't planning on staying in Denver too long. My goal was to get a passport, and I owed child support, which they closed out my child support March of last year. And I was still getting deducted child support out of my check. And so they owed me for that. And I was so upset about that. Um, they changed it now, but yeah, man, that was crazy, man. Like, I don't know, like I went down to Colorado. I planned on going to the UK. My goal was to get to the UK. I would have been damn sure fucked, FBI International. I got a little jealous. I got a little jealous because I was watching Cairo News and they was like FBI, followed by FBI Most Wanted, followed by FBI International. I said, God damn, all these FBIs, you ain't that special. Why you letting them know all your information? You giving them intel. These foreigners come over here, they like, oh, that's what they do. That's what they do, homie. Yes, that's what they do. You know, who created this? They shouldn't even be a show. It shouldn't even be a show. Ah, I hope y'all know what y'all doing. That's that Bidenomics shit. Also, first time home buyers. He was telling me about a FHA loan for first time home buyers. It's a very you can have a very not a very low, like if you're in the 400 range, no, but probably like 600, 575 credit score, you can probably get into a home with a FHA loan, a FHA loan. I'm using my VA loan for the first time home buyer. That would exclude me from using the FHA loan for first time home buyer. But as much as I can, I don't know if I can use. I'm writing down a call to VA home loan place because if I could, I can go through them again after I buy my first home. And let's say I don't get the duplex or the triplex, you know, I'll buy a house, a good, nice house. I'll stay in it for a year and then I'll rent it out again. Either way it go, that's my plan because I figure why sit up there and waste precious time? You know, people are starting early in their 20s. I'm in my 40s, man. And I figure, I can help catapult myself by, you know, doing it like this. You know, I truly want to, I look up to people like Kevin O'Leary. Um, I look up to people like Damon John. I spoken with Damon John before for 3 minutes. It was brief. I hate the way I talked about him. I hate the way I talked to him because I was at a battered women's shelter where it was all, crazy women. Just they knew I was on the phone with somebody important, so they started being loud and it started annoying me. So I was sounding annoyed with him. But out of everybody, he chose me. Out of everybody, he chose me. He really knows what he's doing. And I hope we can work together one day in like a bipartisan way, because I know he actually is Democrat. But hey, I have no ill will against him or nothing. Damon John is Damon John. Damon John is making money. You know, but other than that, I look up to people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They've been in this game with money. They came in with money and they're leaving with trillions of dollars. And I'm just now starting off, and I don't even have $1 billion or $1 million in the game. I don't even have a six figures in the game or thousands of dollars in the game. I'm starting off from scratch, you know. And the only thing about me is that when you start, one thing Trump said is that don't open your mouth like a catfish because you'll get hooked. And I do open my mouth, but I don't say everything like y'all think I do. You know, I I just seriously want fairness. That's all I want. And I know I'm going to get it. You know, I don't want no games, no tricks, no nothing. I just want fairness. And I hope that I get to that point. You know, I'm hyped up for the move. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm happy. I can't wait. I can't wait to get started. Like Damon John said, you can tell an employee after the 3 month mark, after the 3 month mark, I remember, see, jobs like kitchen work and jobs like cashier work isn't for me no more. They require too much. But cleaning, basic and other stuff, miscellaneous stuff like, wiping down stuff and vacuuming and dusting and doing, stuff, corporate stuff, I can do. Also, I have something unfolding as we speak, and I have a plan for that too. But I don't want to talk about that. I can't wait. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen by July. July or a little sooner. So I'm excited about that. I just want, you know, I don't want to be in poverty ever again. I want to be making six figures, if not more. More. And I want to be uh, flipping houses and in my own house. I know to keep some in the reserves, you know, three mortgages in the reserves for when you need to fix a problem within the house. But I probably put like more in the reserves. But yeah, it's all about drive. You know, I have 20 years in me. 60 years old. I I don't know. I probably have more drive in me. If Donald Trump can work at 70 something, I could probably work, but who knows? I, you never know. Like if you can work out, if I can work out my range of motion. You know, I seen this woman in Baltimore, y'all. This woman is so famous. I don't know how famous she is now because she was 80 years old, yo. Like when I was in Baltimore, she was 80 years old and her range of motion was better than my shit. She was so buff and so fit. I couldn't keep up with her. I think we did one fitness class together. She came to McVett's and did one fitness class, and I couldn't even keep up with this lady. I was so proud of her. She was African American and she was an older lady and she was working out and she was buff and she was just working out and everything, and it's like she was fit. So if you work out more, your longevity, your life lasts longer. If you go out more, if you sit down, eat donuts all day, eat potato chips all day, sit down, do nothing, you're going to have these tings and pings and pains. That's why I'm going to get a subscription with Planet Fitness. That's probably why I'm going to get a subscription in Bothell with Planet Fitness. So yeah, because I don't want to be that type of person that don't work out, don't work out. So yeah, I want to be fit. I have a whole month, uh, you know, I want to be fit and ready to go. Um, Probably work out. Um, I know I'm watching real estate. Just give me a second. Probably work out. Like I thought it was supposed to snow today. They said Everett. I don't know. They were blowing it up on the news. They were blowing it up on the news like it was supposed to be something big. And I don't see nothing but wind. I guess wind was supposed to be today and snow tomorrow. And then Valentine's Day is snow, yeah. Because they were saying something about snow tomorrow at 1. But yeah, it was just crazy, man. So back to the real estate. Hold on. They also said some of those PPP loans were fraudulent. They said some of those PPP loans were fraudulent. I never got a PPP loan because I was a contract, and I will always be a contractor. Like, I'm not a W-2 because I'm an independent contractor. Um, I don't even know if they're going to ever do a PPP loan again. But that just reminded me when he said that. It just popped in my head. You know, one thing I'm thinking about doing, I know I can, I know I can never do real estate because I don't have the time. I won't have the time. But to take a class and learn about it so I can be more smarter on how I'm going to maneuver this thing. You never know, taking these classes, man, to learn, man. I use my goddamn BA stuff, education stuff, my post 9/11 bill to daggone pay for this shit just so I can learn about real estate, even if I have to take it over again, I wouldn't even care. But he said it's hard, and I'm so glad I got to speak to him because he said it's hard, and people part-time usually fail. So that discouraged me. And some people say it's easy, some people say it's hard, but I believe him. I believe him. He has nothing. He having me on the team, you know, doesn't break him or make him. He has no reason to want to discourage me. He is telling the truth. He's telling the truth. So that's why I decided not to do real estate at this point, at this time. But uh we had a long, large conversation. And, the recession thing, you know, I don't think we're going to have a set recession these 4 years. So my goal is to get myself in a house by year two, which is 2027. 2027. February, March of 2027. We went into a recession with Bidenomics, but we're not going into a recession with Donald Trump. And what is worse, I think people hate him because he be right all the time. They don't like people that know it all. People hate people that know it all. I watched both debates between Biden and Trump. He said it out his mouth. He said, if you vote for Biden, all hell will break loose and there will be a recession that we cannot come back from, and it will take a while to come back from. He said that out his mouth. And what happened? We Inflation. You can't just sit up there and say, oh, well, I put this special stamp on inflation. Wars is still going on. He's trying to end wars. You see what he's trying to do. He's trying to end wars. Until the war is over and until the hostages are, until the war is over between Israel, until the war is over with Ukraine and Russia, this is what's getting the beehive just the buzzing. You know, the manpower that it takes to do these things, and it's many other factors too. Many other factors play, but I read somewhere the price of eggs is like $2 in Mexico, and it's like $10 here. Gas is like $3 and 90 some cents, and it goes all the way up to 4.80, almost $5 here, depending on where you live. And it's a work in progress, but you see what he's doing and you still complain. You see he's working on it, he's working on it, and then people still complain about it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, nobody can be satisfied. Oh, he's doing this now. He's doing that now. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I never got that. Why, when you're doing the right thing, people still will complain. Nobody is never going to be happy. Nobody is never going to be happy because he is a know-it-all type of guy. And they don't like know-it-all type of guys. I noticed one thing. Do y'all notice that when it's time to break out and dance, man, black men especially, man, they just go ham. And ham mean they go crazy. They do, they get that mean mug, they just be like, like it's in their blood, man. All those cadences, those folklore slavery songs that we had to sing back in the day, to keep up with, keep ourselves in praise type modes so that we wouldn't feel bad about, you know slave being a slave. You know that's basically what I'm saying. you know it's generational, you know, downfall. I call it generational downfall. And not because he want to dance, but I'm just saying, like, it's a long story. If I don't want to explain it about slavery, I'll just keep it there because you know how I like to elaborate a lot. Black men are fine with me. All I'm saying is I have to explain it because I don't want to end it there. So you have, slavery that's embedded in women and men. I noticed that black men and black women are more reserved with certain things. They're more reserved in their business. They feel like they don't like to put their business out there like that because they feel like if they put their business out there, it's some type of jinx that they're going to be toppled with hate and jinxing them so that something bad can happen. And that's a lot of people for overall, but mostly black people. It's a lot of people that feel that way because even stars do it. Stars have recognized that pattern too. They don't come out with their full story until after it's done. And that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm not saying nothing about certain things until after it's done. I'll tell you certain things that happened because I put it out there in the paper, which was February 10th, and it's past February 10th, but I have to get my contracts first. It's not my fault. It's out of my hands. I gotta wait, and I'm patiently waiting. It hasn't been that long, but I'm not mad or nothing. But you know, stars sit up there and they don't say what they're going to do until after they did it. No, they'll set up the big premiere for it during the course that is happening. Now, before an event happens, they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. Before an event happened, they say, well, tell me about this. They were like, I'd rather not talk about it until it actually comes into production. Or they're play dumb like they don't know. So, but a lot of black people have a stigma that if they uh if they talk about it, and this goes for certain people, and like Trump said, nobody, unless people are trying to purposely sabotage you, which I heard this come out of a lot of black people mouths, a lot of black people mouths. I've been around a lot of black people, and they said that as soon as you're doing good, black people want to sabotage you. As soon as you're doing good, black people want to sabotage you, and or they don't want to support you when they see you're happy and doing good. That's what I heard from a lot of black people. They told me this in confidence that I'll keep it a secret, but I haven't told who said it. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Like the only way it's sad to know that, you know, if you try this, unless you, some people say, I've seen pages where I've liked somebody's stuff that has been African American, that they don't get no likes on their page and they're alone, or even if they're not alone, sometimes they get likes, sometimes they don't. Those are the pages that I like to target a lot. Those are the pages I like to target, whether white or black or Hispanic. But I look for, I target all races, but when I see black people, I like to target black people so that they know that I'm friendly, and it's, and another thing, I know a lot of black people is like, well, why don't you have any black people on your show? Well, you go and you find those black people I've asked to be on my show and you ask them why. because they already have the idea mindset set up about me that I'm stuck up, and they see that I have a some white people on my show, and they have a whole idea set up about me that I'm a stuck up black woman that's a Republican. I've had instances where they never showed up. I've had instances where they just never responded. So it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I give it everybody the benefit of the doubt. I give everybody, I go on matchmaker.com FM. It is not my fault. It is not my fault. I'm writing. I'm not talking. I'm writing. How can my writing be wrong? I'm writing the same thing I'm writing to the next person. So I don't know, man. This is what I mean. So it has to be correct. It has to be correct. You know, I'm never going to change who I am. I care about all races. And it just so happened that the white race cares about me too. I've had some white people that I had a white person, a lady, sat up there. I interviewed her and I asked her for a review, and she said, "What for?" So I said, "Never mind." And I cut her off and canceled the whole session. I've had bad people that were white, and I've had bad people that were black. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit up there and hate all white people. I don't hate all white people. I don't hate. I don't hate. And you cannot get me to change that. I'm not secretly a prejudiced person. And I just had to say that, man. I just had to say that because that's just who I am, man. Nothing can change that in me. And that's why my sister didn't like me. That's why my brother didn't like me. That's why my cousins didn't like me, because I was different. And everybody I come across, man, they sometimes secretly watch my show and see that I have a lot of white people on here. And then they get an idea that I don't be submitting to black people, and I do. It's not my fault. So how do you think it happens with Trump? Do you think he do this? Do you think he probably do the same thing I do? Or do black people already have their mind made up about Trump being a racist? That look just like Baltimore. And let me say one more thing, and then I'm gonna let this thing ride out. The ones that rock with me, the black people that rock with me, I appreciate you guys because you guys know how hard it is for me. You know, you've been rocking with me since 2022, 2021. You see what I've been going through. You see what I've been complaining about. You see it. You see it. The plus side about being in the area that I'm in, I get ignored. And that's what I like. I the main goal for me while I'm in this territory of Washington is to get ignored. I don't want to be followed. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be raped. I don't want to be assaulted. I want to be free, free of all that bullshit that comes with being in Seattle. People are getting shot in Seattle. People are getting killed in Seattle for stupid shit, for dumb shit. They just got guns for no fucking reason. Get them off the fucking streets. And y'all been doing it. Y'all been doing it. I can't sit up there and sit up there and deny it. It gotta be something else, man. People lives are in danger. People every day. I hate watching the local news, man. I hate watching the local news. The only reason I watch it is to see what they're talking about as far as national news and to see what positive things they're talking about as far as positivity goes. You know, with food trucks, you know, and funny things because they do be funny on the local news. They do be funny. They be funny as crap. They be saying stuff I be saying half the time. And I be laughing. I be laughing like 10 o'clock news that rotates around to the 10 o'clock news that rotates around to because I'm streaming, you know, and I just hate when I hear somebody died, man. And it's going to happen, but I don't like to hear it. Innocent people dying, getting shot, man. 20-year-old smiling in his picture, shooting people. That's exactly what I thought he was going to say. I got 30 minutes with y'all. So pretty much, they changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and it just gets me so emotional. I'm sorry to have to cuss, man. I'm sorry to have to cuss. None of these videos will be on Santa Barbara TV or DC TV or none of my videos. I don't put my videos on there, even though that would be a good idea to put one of my videos on there or Thurston Community Media. But it's like, oh my God, man. It's crazy out here, man. I am so thankful that I live where I live because I don't have to worry about crazy. Like one day I went downtown to Target in Seattle, and this one lady, I won't disclose her race because the race is irrelevant. She scratched her, you know what, down her genitals area. And I said, I didn't say it out loud, but I'm thinking this in my head. I said, do anybody see this shit? Like, homeless, you know, it's not funny. It's not funny because it can happen to any of us at any time. Like, it's sad, man. Shit in the alley, very, very, very large smelling urine. Elon Musk had to move his site to a different site. I forgot where he was. I think he was in San Francisco, and he had to move it to the outskirts of California because there were so many homeless people around his building when he walked in. You know, who would want that? Who would want that, man? Some people want to be homeless. Some people want to be homeless. Like, there's no, like, before I'm left Burien, there was so many homeless people next to the police station. They see when the police come in their civilians. They see when they leave out in their trucks, what trucks, police trucks they go in. They see lawyers. They know lawyers. They know police officers. They shouldn't have to be catered to. They shouldn't have to sit up there and be catered to. You know, they should have their own place. This will burn out the police officers. They have knives, probably. Where do they go to the bathroom at? They have to go on the street. It's a scary thing, y'all. It's a scary thing being homeless. I was homeless, but I didn't allow myself to be that homeless. I didn't allow myself to be that homeless. I didn't allow myself to be that homeless. I remember when I was in jail, this one girl had a nerve. Like, they always trying to pimp me. They always try, and I would just sit there because I knew that if I started to say something back, because I was getting ready to leave. I was getting ready to leave, and I was just sitting there, and she was like, "Now you take my number, and we're gonna get a tent together, and you can steal a heater from Walmart, and you can steal the tent. They don't, girl, they don't get you. They don't get you. All you gotta do is steal the tent and the heater before I get there and get out. and you call me. And I'm looking at her like she crazy. But I'm not looking at her like she crazy. I'm just looking at her. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, they get down like that. She didn't learn shit. She didn't learn shit from being in jail. Oh man. Mentality. Change your mentality. And then you wonder why nothing good comes from nothing. I think, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I won't say it. I won't say it. I'm not going to say it. It's too heartbreaking for some people to know, but I know. I know it. I get stuff wrong all the time. I get stuff wrong all the time. Not all the time, all the time. Like I got it wrong about Damon John. I got it wrong about a lot of things. But I read and I listen. I don't get stuff wrong about Trump or Elon Musk because I read and I watch. But I got it wrong about Damon John. I never seen nothing in the paper about Damon John. Nothing, never seen nothing in the paper about Damon John in a negative way. So there you go. But I just don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. I won't say it. You know, there's people in the projects who don't have TVs, who have TVs and don't watch TV. They just count their drug money and just flip their drug money and use drugs. They don't even watch politics. I've talked to people that say that they don't watch politics. They don't do politics. That's sad, man. That's sad. You are allowed to not do politics, but you need to learn about this. This is your history. This is your history. What you gonna do when you have a child, or even if you get older? What can you tell your nieces or nephews, or your cousins, your little cousins, or your family? I just don't know about politics, man. I don't know what to say. I remember I was in my bachelor's program and I was in class, and there was this fine black woman teacher, and she had her doctorate degree, and she was like, say the apple is red. And it was like 50 of us in the class. Those classes rolled deep with black people. And she's like, say the apple is red. So it started with this one male or female, I can't remember. Uh, we had rats in a brand new building. It was rats all through Baltimore, I tell you. But it started with him or her, and it came to me, and I'm the messenger. I'm just taking the message that I'm like number 27. So I repeat the message to the next person, and it goes all the way to number 50. And it said it was something totally different. No, she didn't tell us what it was. She whispered it. She was like, now I'm going to tell you something and I'm going to explain it later. So she whispered it to the guy or girl, and they explained it. They went down the road. And by the time he got to the other person, it was something totally different that she never even said. Because if she said it out loud It's no way everybody heard it, so everybody got it right. But somebody in between the connection says something totally different, which means that they're not listening. Miscommunication. We have to, if it takes all that I have to grow my fan base with my Black people, because they need to open their eyes to know the real deal about what's going on. No, I'm not there with I don't have tea parties with Donald Trump. No. Just like I said, you aren't there with Donald Trump either. So you can't say he's prejudiced. I can't say he's prejudiced. But I know what he's doing is good for the United States as a whole. Yeah, you may not like him. You may not like him. But think about this. Isn't everything he said he was doing, he's doing? This is a man that loves America. This is a man that cares about America. He's doing what he said he's going to do. Why not give him a chance? He's a know-it-all type of person. And people hate a know-it-all. People hate a know-it-all. I don't hate a know-it-all. I love know-it-alls because I love learning. I love people that are know-it-alls because I love being up under them because that teaches me what I need to do to grow. Just admit for a second you don't know everything. Just admit for a second you don't know everything. This man has been around the top smartest people. And yet we haven't been around the top smartest people in our lives. This is people that have access to technology that implants in your brain. Do you not think Elon Musk probably got that shit in his brain too? If not a better device? So he's thinking on top of his game. The Neuralink. All I'm saying is if you don't like him, give him a chance. Research. Like I said before, in the elections, he said that we will be in a recession that we cannot get out of. Had this been another 4 years of Kamala Harris, we think about where we would be. We have National Guard, Canadian National Guard at the border of Canada to prevent fentanyl from coming in. We have Canadian, Mexican National Guard at the Mexican border to prevent fentanyl from coming in. Now, if that cracks open, then we have our National Guard. And you don't want our National Guard to start acting up or acting a fool because it's martial law. He's helping us, man. What, like, people are mad like they done had street lobotomies, not a regular lobotomy where you can come out and say thanks, doc. No, they had street lobotomies. They's like, well, it's still the Gulf of Mexico to me. I was looking at what everybody was saying, and it sounds so stupid. It sounded so stupid. And they were saying dumb stuff. I can see when the Mexicans were saying it. I wasn't mad at the Mexicans. I knew they were going to be mad. But there were white people, Black people still saying, well, eggs are still high. Come on now. He's working on it. They just mad at him for no reason. But this is what you voted for, and this is what you're going to get, whether you like him or not. You can think of anything to be mad at him about. But I'm going to utilize these 4 years to get on my feet. I'm going to utilize these 4 fucking years to get on my feet. And these 8 years to hopefully another Republican comes into office, to get on my feet heavily. Every time a Democrat comes into office, my life turns to hell. They have a hit list. They were housing, just like I was saying in the beginning. Just like I was saying in the beginning. Everything I told y'all, they said was misinformation in the beginning that was getting my pages like YouTube shut down, was the truth. They were housing people in, I'm just going to say people. I'm not going to say illegal immigrants, but they were housing people in extravagant hotel rooms. Our tax dollars. And people are okay with that. Some people are okay with that. Why? They're hiding them in California. What's fair is what's fair. You don't see us going down to Mexico talking about we want reparations. This is America, not Mexico. We don't see us going down there with an American flag. If you want to wave around your Mexican flag, I suggest you go back down to Mexico and wave your Mexican flag. You shouldn't be here waving around your Mexican flag saying, hey, I'm from Mexico. Look at me. I'm from Mexico. Leave us alone. We're from Mexico. You know, what is that saying? That's saying that you are from Mexico. Fuck America. Fuck America. Fuck America. That's what you're saying. And with that, I end. I want y'all to think, let that sit on your conscience. If you want them to walk around with that that Mexican flag, waving it around in groups, you know, imagine 4 years going by on Kamala Harris' watch, and there were more of them coming through the border, and then we had to sweep them out. Imagine them rallying up in even double numbers. They are brainwashing their children, man. They are brainwashing their children into believing that Republicans are bad people.
Never waste my time, you all I want.